Hello everybody, how are you all? I'm Pallavi here again. I'm sure everybody is doing good. So dear students, if you had followed me, you know that we have finished 2 chapters of reflections and 3 chapters of articulation, right? And from today onwards, I'm going to start with the couple of chapters of reflections. To begin with, we are going to talk about Oru Manushyan, written by Vayakam Muhammad Bashir. He is also known as Baipur Sultan. Alright, now who is this man? He was our freedom fighter who fought for our independence, guys. A famous Malayalam writer, very good human being, a humanist, a novelist, short story writer. On top of it, he was our freedom fighter who fought alongside of Mahatma Gandhi and gained independence for us. Now, let's know a little bit more about this man. Okay, in fact, he was only wearing khadi because he was an ardent follower of Mahatma Gandhi. Once, when Mahatma Gandhi had come to his town in Kerala, he had actually climbed on the car and had touched the hands of Mahatma Gandhi. And because of the Satyagraha movement, he was only wearing khadi and he followed principles of Mahatma Gandhi. He had travelled across the country, from length to breadth of the country, and also had gone to a couple of countries, foreign countries as well. Let's talk about his writing, style of writing. In fact, my dear students, he never bothered about grammatical errors in his texts, in his novels. In fact, he had told his editors not to correct them because he never bothered about the literature critics. He was only intended to reach the common man. Alright, so if you've read his books, you would understand it is like such a simple language he has adapted in all his works. Now, in fact, our government of India has awarded him Padma Shri. Kerala has awarded him the Kerala Sahitya Academy. He's got n number of awards. And Oru Manushyan is just one snippet of his body of literature. Okay. Even this chapter talks about the characters, the nature of human beings. Now you tell me, my dear students, whom do you call a good human being? Whom do you call a good human being? Remember, we had asked this question in our first chapter as well. Whom do we call the gentleman? Right? So whom do we call good human being? A person who helps the needy, a person who has a golden heart, who's always at the edge to help the people. Correct? So we call them good human beings. Correct? Now, let's assume a situation. Let's consider a situation. Say you're waiting for your bus at the bus stop. You have forgotten your cell phone and you are late and you want to inform your parents. So what will you do? You don't have a cell phone. So you'll ask your fellow passenger, can you please give your cell phone for a minute? I need to call my parents because I'm getting late. What do you think would be the reaction of the person who is standing beside you? 99% of the time, the person will oblige. He or she will give us a phone and you will make a call. Correct? The person, the stranger standing beside you, who he could have told, no, I cannot give you. But he never said that. He in fact obliged and gave the phone to you. Correct? Will you forget this instant in your life? Probably not, because not many people in this world will be having such a mindset of helping people. So God forbid, one more situation. If you trip and fall, or if you meet with an accident, and I know n number of people who will be walking around, riding around, traveling beside you, may not be there to assist you. But there will be one kind soul, one kind human being who will take you till the hospital, who will help you throughout. Correct? He's a complete stranger. During this time, guys, during this situation, if apart from your parents or your siblings, who else will help you? Correct? Yes, of course, there is no reason for a stranger to come and help you out, but yes, he comes and he takes care of you, at least till the hospital, without expecting anything in returns. Correct? So, of course, these kind of situations will make us think, is there good thing existing still in our life? Do we have good people around still? And this situation or the incident or the person who has helped you will be etched in your memory throughout your lives. Correct? You will recollect, you will remember, you will reminiscent, saying that why should he come and help me? He is a godly, God-sent man. Otherwise, what would have been my condition? So, a complete stranger has helped you at that situation. And the same scenario you can connect in the story as well. Of course, it was not like a fatal situation for the author, but yes, there was a situation which was a little worrying, or rather, life of of our author was at stake. So obviously, the favor and the person who saved him, these two instances are etched in the mind and heart of the author. So, let's begin the actual story. He starts with a philosophical note. Say for example, you are into an unknown land. You are a vagabond. You are wandering everywhere. The worst part is you do not have money and you do not know the language, local language of that part of the country. You only know two languages. Which are those? English and Hindustani. Unfortunately, the place where you are, none of them know these two languages. So just imagine your predicaments, your ill fate which will follow you. Correct? So even the author is going to face certain unforeseen incidents in his life. And let's talk about this place, the place where the author is living. Where does our author stay? He stays in a very small, dingy room. Dingy is like dirty. Okay, dirty room on a small street, on a dirty street. Alright, let's know what kind of people are there in this town. There are people who are murderers, pickpocketers. They can do n kind of cruel things for money. Of course, basically they are soldiers. They go and have worked as soldiers for the country, and they have also worked as watchmen in mills, in establishments in the big city. Alright, but they can do anything for money. So the author is cautioning us that there is a lot of evil than good around us. You need to be very, very careful. Okay, because you might have observed, you might have experienced. In fact, the whole story talks about the experience of the author. Okay, now let's talk about his routine there. And what is his routine? He is good in English. Okay, he has got good hold in English. So he teaches English to the migrant laborers over there. And what is the actual job of author and what kind of English does he teach? He teaches the method, the way to write addresses for these for this migrant laborers. Okay, because learning to write address in English is considered a great education there. Okay, so he was teaching the migrant laborers to write address, and the duration of the time of its class was from 9:30 to 11 in the night. Alright, you might have seen in the old Kannada movies, guys, there are the villagers who are very innocent, who are illiterate, and they get a telegram, and the postman tries to deliver the telegram to a particular household, and they don't know to read and write. So, in fact, they will ask the postman to read the telegram. What a pitiful situation that could be, right? So, you can imagine over here as well, people didn't know to even write the address in English. And in the post offices, there were people who were doing this job. they were paid at least around minimum from 1 anna to 4 annas. So, I mean, our author was doing a kind of a good job, noble job of teaching the laborers to write their addresses. And what was his savings throughout his tenure in that particular place? It was 14 rupees, just 14 rupees, guys. And how could he save that much money? In fact, the author used to get up late in the evening. Okay, he used to avoid his morning tea and afternoon meals. So he was not eating the meals nor drinking tea in the morning. So he would save his money. And the total savings of his because of this job was 14 rupees. And what happened one day? Let's talk about one eventful day in author's life. He got up as usual at 4 o'clock. He finished his daily chores. Okay, he dressed in his usual attire. What was his usual attire? He was always wearing, in fact, his suit. Okay, and he had put his wallet in his coat pocket. And as remember, I told you this, 14 rupees was in his coat pocket or in his wallet. Okay, he stepped out of his house. He went to this restaurant to have his meal. He had a good meal. Okay, having 4 chapatis and meat curry, and also drank a cup of tea. What was the bill? The bill came up to 11 annas. Guys, it is not 11 rupees. It is 11 annas. And this question is always asked in the exam, guys. What did the bill come up to? It came up to 11 annas, not rupees. Just do not write 11 or just do not write 11 rupees. It is wrong. So it came up to 11 annas. So he went to the counter. He wanted to pay the bill, of course. So he tried to take the wallet out of his coat pocket. Surprise of surprises. No time for guesses also. He started sweating profusely, and just imagine what would have happened to him at that moment when he realized that his pocket was picked. There was no wallet in his coat pocket, guys. Just imagine the situation, and you know the place, you know the people also, and the author understood that his fate is set. Okay, whatever he had eaten got digested in a moment, and obviously he had to tell the same to the restaurant owner. He says to the restaurant owner, "I'm so sorry, my pocket is picked. Somebody has picked my pocket. I do not have my wallet here. I cannot pay the money at this moment." Now, just imagine the restaurant owner's reaction. He started laughing aloud. Okay, with a guffaw. Guffaw is laughing aloud. He said, "You better pay the bill. You better fulfill the dues." And author doesn't have the money. In fact, he gives an offer. He says, "I'll keep my the jacket, the suit here, and I'll go and somehow arrange the money. Let me just go and I'll come back definitely." What is the reaction of the restaurant owner? Again he started laughing. He caught him by his lapels. Lapels is the collar. So he caught him by the lapels and he says, "Better give the money, otherwise I'll gouge your eyes out." The author looks around everywhere. He expected at least one kind soul, one kind human being who can help him out. But you know the place. Everybody started laughing. Everybody wanted to know what's going to happen next. So they wanted to enjoy the situation, enjoy the scene. So author was helpless. And the restaurant owner, if he had said that he's going to gouge his eyes out, he will definitely do that. So he started shivering. Okay. Now, the next step of embarrassments begin for the author. The owner says, "Remove your jacket." The author removes the jacket and keeps it in front of him. Next, he says, "Remove your shirt." The author removes the shirt and keeps it in front of him. Next, he says, "Remove your shoes." author removes the shoes. Now, the worst part, the nightmare for the author begins. He says, remove your trousers. The author is asked to remove the trousers. And our poor chap, the author, he expresses innocently that he hasn't worn anything inside. He says, I have not worn anything underneath. Everybody starts laughing. Everybody in the restaurant says, no, 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 he should have worn something inside. So, the restaurant owner doesn't stop there. He says, you better remove your trousers. For the author, the world has betrayed him. Now he imagines himself what will be his life. He would have become completely naked with his eyes out, standing in a square. So he prays to God, oh my dear God, is this my life in the future? Please help me. I cannot be like this. However, he is helpless at that moment. He starts unbuttoning his trousers, still praying that what if some kind soul will come and help him. So it happens the same. One of them from among the crowd yells and says, stop. And everybody looks at him. What kind of a person do they encounter at this moment? Even the author feels kind of shock, and he looks at the person, at the stranger, and he comes in between the scene, and he says, I'm going to pay the bill. Tell me what's the amount. The restaurant keeper says 11 annas, and he pays the bill. Let's describe the person. The stranger has come now. He is a fair complexioned man, 6 feet tall, having a red turban on his head and white trousers. He sported a handlebar moustache. Handlebar is a rectangular shaped moustache. Okay, and he had blue eyes. Very pretty, very handsome looking man. And he comes and helps the author. He says, I'm going to pay the bill. You better get up, wear all your stuff. And the author is so happy. His life is back. His dignity is saved. So he wears everything back, and the stranger says, follow me. And the author follows him. They reach a deserted bridge. They walk a while and they reach a deserted bridge. Deserted means there's nobody walking around. Okay, it's a lonely bridge. And the author walks behind him. The author asks him, what's your name? In fact, the stranger asks him his whereabouts, his name, and what does he do, and where does he stay, etc., etc. The author gives all the information to the stranger, and when the author asks him his name, he doesn't reply. He doesn't say. So what does the author say here? He says, he gives an adjective. He gives an adjective to this man. He says, you must be called mercy. Mercy is kindness. You must be called mercy because you have helped me in times of need. So this is your name from now on, is what the author tries to say. This man laughs and smiles, and they walk for some time. They reach a particular place, and the man turns around. He says, this moment onwards, you are not supposed to turn back. You just need to walk away from here. If anybody asks anything about me, you are supposed to keep quiet, not supposed to utter any word about me. And obviously, our author agrees. What does this man do? He removes 5 wallets from his pocket, and he spreads the wallets in front of the author and says, choose your wallet. Okay. Author has a surprised look, shocking look, and he checks the wallets. His wallet is also there. One among these 5 wallets is his. He takes his wallet. The man asks, count your notes, count the money, what you have in your wallet. The author counts 14 rupees, whatever he had in his wallet is intact. Money is not gone anywhere, it's in the wallet. So, author comes to know who has helped him, guys? The pickpocketer himself, the thief himself had helped him. So author is totally gratified. He says, he is like, I'm so thankful to you that you saved me. Okay. This man smiles and he says to leave the place. The author says, in fact, they exchange few words. The stranger says, go, may God bless you. May God help you. Alright. The author also says, may God help you. Understand the difference. I'll tell you the difference in a moment. Now, when the stranger says, go, may God help you. What do you mean by that? The stranger is saying, at this situation today, I was there to help you. Okay? I will not be there again and again. I will not be there to help you forever and ever. Only God should come and help you. So be careful. Is like a caution, is like a advice given by the stranger to the author. What did the author say? How did the author convey the same phrase but with an intonation, with a different attitude in that? He says, author says, may God help you. What do you mean by that? Why should he say that? Why should he repeat the same? That means, or rather the author intends to say, let this man leave this job of robbery or pickpocketing and become a good human being. Understood? May God give you some good sense. May you become a good human being is what the intention behind the author saying this sentence. Understood, my dear students? Just imagine a stranger has helped you in such situation wherein wherein your life was at stake. Will you forget that person? You will remember the person, you will remember the situation throughout your life. The same thing the author is trying to say here, that a complete stranger has helped him and wonders, what if he was not there at that moment? Guys, this is Oru Manushyan for you. In fact, when this story was translated, it was named A Man, but the original name is retained to retain the essence of the story as well. Guys, hope you understood the chapter. Very easy chapter. We shall talk about few questions which are repeatedly asked. Okay, so let's begin. The most probable question which has been asked, guys, in your exams. Where did the narrator stay in this big city? He stayed in a small, very small, dingy room on a dirty street. Alright, how far is this place from his native? This place is around 1500 miles from his native. What kind of people are there in this city? There are people who do pickpocketing, there are people who are murderers, who have committed murder, there are robbers, there are n number of anti-social elements in this city. They can do anything. What do they do for money? They can go to the extent of committing murder. Alright, now what was the narrator doing to earn a living? He used to teach the migrant laborers to write address in English during the time from 9:30 till 11 in the night. Okay, next, how much money did the narrator have in his pocket as his life savings? 14 rupees. And what did the bill came up to? The bill came up to 11 annas. Describe the stranger. One of the questions you need to answer. This person is a fair complexioned man, 6 feet tall, with a red turban and white trousers. He sported a handlebar moustache and had blue eyes. Alright. Now, what would the restaurant keeper would have done if the author had not paid him the bill? So, the restaurant keeper would have gouged his eyes out. Alright. So, these are the few questions, guys, which you need to remember and take care of. Alright. And I always say, please read the lesson thoroughly so that all your grammar, all the questions will be asked from within the textbook. Alright, guys. So, you enjoyed the lesson. You hope you understood whatever I have taught you today. Okay. So, dear students, hope you liked my explanation. Like the video, comment down, and don't forget to share it with your friends and classmates. Okay. All the best. Do well in life. Happy learning, guys. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.